So for the committed players out there still playing this game online, I wanted to present you my favorite passing play in this game. I never really had the chance to use it since I was never really in the playbook that it was in, but I think it's worth sharing with you guys, better late than never. So we'll get right into it, and the play comes out of single back wide trips, and I'm in the New England Patriots playbook here, and I'm sure it's in a lot of different other playbooks, but again, it was never in the Packers or Carolina or whatever I was using before. And the play is Pat's zig. No, just kidding. The play is wide receiver post. So you've probably seen this. I think it's also in Jacksonville, but I would be careful because already what you can see is the main thing that's going to be getting you yards here is that C route here, but a lot of variations of this play have the big standard C route, which doesn't really get open. This one has the short C route, which gets open against any coverage there. So you want to be careful there. But the play is wide receiver post, and we'll get into all the different kind of combinations that we can attack zone coverage. And then of course you have halfback stretch here, which is always good, and halfback dive weak, which is actually a decent mix up with that, where you're not running a halfback dive to the strong side, which is kind of like, gives you a little bit more variation from that stretch, which is kind of nice. But one thing to always know with halfback dive is you want to hand it off on the side that your quarterback is strong on. Okay, so if he's strong with his left hand, like Michael Vick, you'll want to run it this way. If he's, any other quarterback, you're going to want to run it flipped. And I wonder if that's going to stick around for Madden 19 or not. Those of you with the beta might want to look into that, because that should definitely be fixed. Anyway, so we'll get into wide receiver post here, and I'm just going to go over cover 2 and cover 3. No need to go over too many different things. I'll go over 4-3 under here and Tampa 2. So usually how I would want to align this is have the C route to the boundary. So I have the trip side with lots and lots of room over to the right here. And then of course we know that this C route is always going to be open here. So just wait for it to develop, and then right at the break we throw that. And then worst case, you'll have a contested catch like that. Best case, you'll throw it right and you'll get room to run onto, and you'll get 20-25 yards or so. So that's always going to be the backbreaker there, something that their opponent's always going to have to think about. Now, you don't have to cheese that route all game, but it's just something to always be there if you need it, and also for the opponent to be thinking about that all the time. So maybe he needs to bring somebody else over there, or maybe he needs to do whatever he needs to do to beat that route. Keep in mind, I haven't been playing this game for the last couple of weeks or so maybe there's something that's been developed here to slow those down, or maybe some things with the meta have changed. So take this all with a grain of salt, but I think, based off, the game a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and based off what I've seen in practice mode here, I think it's definitely worth running. By the way, if you're not running Pats, and if you want to see this, check out MaddenFocus.com. That's the site that I've been using to see these plays and which playbooks they're in. So wide receiver post, see if it's any other playbooks that you're using, and then try to mix it up into your game plan. Anyway, so back to cover 2. So you always have the C route, and you'll always have the comeback route. Okay, so I made a video on this a while ago, not too long ago, about how against cloud flats, C routes are always going to get open for easy 15 yards, and you can do this out of anything. It's a hot route, right? And that's, I haven't really seen that. I haven't seen many people using that. Let me know in the comments below if you've been working that into your game plan, because I think it's so easy. Again, just hot route. It's always going to get open against cloud flats, which are probably, other than barring a few little glitches with the 91 zones, probably the best zones in the game, but this is always going to work against it. So let me know about that, because I really was hoping that more people would be using that. Anyway, so it would work like this, and let's just hope I throw it right, but just right at the break here, when that corner turns his hips, we throw that ball there, and sometimes you'll get a contested catch like that. Let's wait for him to turn his hips a bit longer here, and just like that, easy 15 yards. So right away here, you have both sidelines are totally exposed. Okay, you got the C route to the right and the comeback route to the right. Okay, so two things right away that they have to take into account. That's probably going to get them out of cover 2 real quick. A lot of people, including myself, like to stick in cover 2 all game. You're going to have to switch it up from here. Another little wrinkle that you can you can run with cover 2 here that I like is putting this Ted Ginn Jr. route on a smart routed in route, so this 10-yard, 15-yard in, and leaving the routes in the middle. So what I like about these routes, they are really good routes to draw user defenders in. Okay, so you know, think about yourself. What kind of routes do you check on right away? You think about drags, you think about deep crossers, shallow crossers. Those are the kind of things that you're going to take away. So if we get into a situation like this on the defense where the middle linebacker or the Mike is in a deep blue, which he always is, and let's think about the situation where this is going to be the user defender. I think usually they like to pick the strong side, but I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you have an identifier on your team and you can see what's going on. But if he's the user over here, so he's effectively, we can take him out. We don't even have to think about him. Now, what's going to happen is this vertical hook, the strong vertical hook right here, Khalil Mack. Now he's not the best zone defender, but they're all going to play similarly. He's going to take this vertically going crossing route a little bit, and that Ted Ginn is going to be wide open underneath. So it's going to work just like this. And you're going to get your easy 10-15 yards that way. So if you don't want to work in the comeback route every time, you don't want to do the C route every time, this is your third option to beat cover 2 for a really sizable gain here. So I like that a lot. And then also, you can play, if you're willing to play that game, if your user defender's over here, say if he ends up taking that crossing route, again, of course, you're going to have the dig right here. It's actually going to be probably even more open. Or in the case that he ends up kind of drifting underneath that in route, you'll have the crosser wide open in the middle. So let's try to simulate that here. So you see how we can get that there. So that's going to take a little bit of reading, and that's going to take a little bit of, baiting and playing with the user. So I don't know if you're willing to do that, but that's your fourth option there. So really a lot of options against cover 2. And then, you always have this drag route. We know that those cloud flats go up. Like you can do this combination that I love to do on 3rd and short or 4th and short when you expect you might see hard flats, where you can put a fade over to the left side that would get behind that hard flat. And then if you don't see a hard flat, you'll have this drag route underneath to get you those 2 or 3 yards or so. So lots and lots of options. I don't run too many drags, but I know a lot of you guys are really good with that stuff, and you can definitely work that in. So that's cover 2. Of course, if you're playing up against total noob that isn't putting his Mike in a deep third, you always have this deep middle post, which can get you a one-play touchdown. Really, really good play against cover 2. I'm not going to keep talking about that. We'll go to cover 3, and yeah, I won't really go over cover 4 or man coverage. I just don't think it's worth the time. And we'll go right back to wide receiver posts, and we'll pick one. All the cover 3s in Atlanta seem to be press, so we'll go to 46. Okay, so again, you have the C route, which is going to be your backbreaker. So we'll start with that on the left. And then, sometimes it works out better than the cover 2. You can kind of turn that corner, maybe go upfield. Even against, let's go cloud flats. Should work against cloud flats too. We all know C routes by now. Okay, so that's always going to be there. There's also the comeback route that you could work into. Again, you could check out that video and see there's a few more intricacies involved when you're working comeback routes against cover 3 than it is cover 2. It's not quite as simple, but you can definitely work that in. But even better, what I like a lot better is to just work this combination. Okay, so you just have this flat and you have this post. So what's going to happen is the flat defender here, Khalil Mack again, he's going to get, whether he's in a curl flat, cloud flat, hard flat, he's going to take this drag route, or sorry, this flat route, and then you're going to be open with Ted Ginn Jr. over the middle there. Okay, so let's just get off of Khalil Mack here. And again, you want the trip side to be towards the field because you want as much room to work with. Now, what I would suggest when you're first getting started with this is just to do a low ball and pass lead it inside. That's going to be your safest bet. So it's going to work something like this. Okay, so if you have a good receiver, he'll hold on to that. Ted Ginn isn't, you know, a possession-based wide receiver, but either way, you know, you should be able to get 15, 20 yards or so really, really easily. Let's actually work into cloud flats as well, just to show you that it works there. Flat route, and let's run it. Oops. Okay, I'm kind of glad that came up because it is a matter of throwing it at the right time too. If you throw it too late, things start to kind of break down. And by the way, actually, since, you know, everybody's running cloud flats anyway, there really isn't a need to put Antonio Brown in a flat route here because that flat is going to drift out anyway. So you don't need a zone to pull him out there. So you can even leave him like this to preoccupy that user a little bit more, and then you'll have even more room over that kind of sweet spot there. So just like that. So there really isn't any need to run that route there. So you have, again, you have more options in the middle that way, and then you also have more routes to preoccupy that user defender. So let's actually just show that one more time. Let's go, you know, obviously hard flats are gonna work out. Hard flats, again, you don't need to flat that slot receiver, and you're gonna have actually even more room there. Yeah, so that's another thing. If you throw it just right against these 91 zone coverage corners, you can get that one play touchdown there. So if you throw it in this case, so remember back when I was saying when you want to start off with, you want to do a low ball pass, but if you kind of take this to the practice field and you kind of work it a little bit, you know, this didn't take me too long, but what you want to do is inside pass lead pretty much right at this point. And you're gonna get that same animation, you know, where the 91 zone coverage guy, he misjudges where you're throwing the ball. So this flat zone is gonna be out of position, inside pass lead, and then if you rack it, and then if you just go around that corner just enough, you should be able to turn that for a one play touchdown. And I've done this a lot of times, so it's definitely possible, guys. And then you know, of course, you'll always have this other one play touchdown over here. You know, can't really do it like I used to be able to do it, but you always got that option. And yeah, you always got a lot of options. I really like this play a lot. Against cover 2, you have 3 or 4 options. Against cover 3, you have a lot of really good options. And then, of course, you have 2 pretty decent run plays against bear front. It works out pretty well. And then you throw in the stretch. Anyway, that's it, guys. This is, you know, one of the last tip videos that I'll be doing for Madden 18. I'm really getting excited for the next game. I'm really, you know, starting to make a bit of a game plan of what kind of videos I want to do, what kind of things I want to test, and what kind of things I want to share with you guys. So if you appreciated this, definitely leave a like. Let me know again about those comeback routes. Let me know if you're still playing this game online, and if you're still having fun with it. Let me know what you're excited about in Madden 18. Okay, so that's been that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.